The lobotomy is one of the cruelest and most inhumane procedures to ever come out of the medical industry. And Elon Musk has reinvented it. Mental illness has seen plenty of attempts at cures throughout history, but none as unique as the lobotomy, which consisted of a surgical procedure in order to sever certain connections within the brain. The surgeon would basically just take two knives, stick them behind your eyeballs, and swirl them around a little bit. It was essentially the surgical equivalent of taking your computer and trying to fix it by smashing the motherboard with a hammer a few times. The operation typically left patients in a state that is best described as surgically induced childhood, with less self-control, reduced intelligence, and even the inability to feel emotions. Combine that with the fact that most patients saw little improvement in their diagnosed mental illness, and it's obvious the procedure was not worth completing at all. Yet it became very popular throughout the 1950s and 60s because it was most often used on patients who were forced into the operation, such as those in mental asylums and unfortunate wives of angry rich men. Around 60% of lobotomies in the US were performed on women, so that's not even a joke. The lobotomy was all about exploitation. Eventually, the morality of the lobotomy was brought to light, and by the 1980s, it was banned worldwide. Thanks to the lobotomy, medical professionals learned a very valuable lesson. Don't tamper with the connections within the human brain. Clearly, Elon Musk is not a medical professional because he wants to do just that, only in like a reverse fashion. Elon has created an AI-controlled brain chip that he believes can cure mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and depression. The chip works by creating new connections within the brain through thin wires that attach to an electrical processing chip implanted in your skull.
Introducing the Neuralink.
The chip began development in 2016 when Elon originally developed the idea, and it is about to start human testing. As it moves into this stage, there is a lot to be concerned about. Firstly, the test subjects are most likely going to be desperate individuals who are in need of some Elon cash or just really dumb Elon fanboys. Either way, these test subjects are people who are being exploited either because they are blinded by cash or blinded by their love for Elon. Moreover, these mental illnesses like schizophrenia and depression are, as far as modern science is aware, incurable. Sure, there are treatments, but right now we know far too little about the brain, and it would be ridiculous to assume that inserting a computer chip into someone's brain could suddenly advance medical research hundreds of years to cure mental illness. It's about just as ridiculous as assuming that cutting the connections between parts of the brain could cure mental illness. So, let's go over to our lobotomy checklist, shall we? Tampering with the connections within the brain? Check. Exploiting desperate individuals? Check. Claiming to cure an incurable disease? Check. Ding ding ding. We have a winner. Elon Musk has officially reinvented the lobotomy. But you know what's the scariest part of it all? The lobotomy actually won a Nobel Prize. At the time, people thought it was one of the most innovative procedures of its generation. Only after the fact did the world turn around and realize what an atrocity it truly was. Let's hope the same doesn't become of the Neuralink, because if it does, I don't think humanity will ever realize how evil it truly is. If we do, Elon will just flip a switch and all of our thoughts will be rewired to believe there was never a concern at all.
And its object is not victory over Eurasia or East Asia, but to keep the very structure of society intact.